Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new review. You have seen the title, you have seen the description, so you know this is Brut. No, I'm kidding. This is, of course, Aqua Celestia Forte from the house of MFK. And before I dive in on the name and this particular fragrance, let me just say a few things. Number one is I have been counting down the days to review this one because I have thoroughly enjoyed this fragrance this week. This house has highly impressed. This is my second review. Last week I reviewed BR540, and this one is the second fragrance from this house. I've absolutely adored wearing both of them. So highly impressed by this house. The second thing is welcome. I want to wish a warm welcome to all the new subscribers since last Friday. Yet again, since last Friday, we have had an absolute outpouring of new subscribers, and I really appreciate that. You know, those of you who have watched my channel every week, you guys know that I try to find a new word each week. And like an avalanche, an outpouring, a tsunami, what have you, of new subscribers. And I will say, in the beginning of when I first started, it was rather tongue-in-cheek because I would have maybe 1 or 2 subscribers since the previous Friday. That said, though, the channel is going strong, and I've had many, many new subscribers, and I just really, really appreciate that. I'm very touched. If this is your first time, if you have stumbled onto this channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you forward these episodes on to your friends in social media. It really helps. The second thing is, too, when it comes to this channel, just a little bit about it. Very quickly, I'll say I have a 5-spray rating system, and what I do is at the end of the episode, the number I give for my rating is the number of sprays I put on myself of this fragrance. And this is actually a very different review because I'm reviewing in the it's actually full-on evening right now. And so I actually have been wearing this all day, and I'm going to put even more on. But I really love this fragrance, so I won't mind. Usually I don't have any fragrance on when I put the sprays. But I am unbiased, I am fiercely independent, and I am happily unscripted. So I don't like to do the whole reading thing. It's not my vibe. I'll never be doing it. I did it once. I detested every minute of it. I love having a chat with you, and I love wishing you a wonderful weekend. And for those of you in the U.S., happy Memorial Day. It's time to break out the grills and let's barbecue. So speaking of let's dive in. This fragrance is... This one is has a very clear purpose to it. All right. So before I mention that, though, I want to get to the nomenclature first and foremost. So you guys know that this is from the house is Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and so people say Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And because of the the tongue twister element, they affectionately refer to the house as MFK. On top of it, the name of the fragrance is, of course, Aqua Celestia Forte. And I want to go over a couple things very, very quickly. And then what I'll probably do, if I have time permitting, is in the bonus feature, I will throw in a little bit more geeky Latin. So if you like talking about the names, if you like the nomenclature part of that, make sure you check out. It's usually about the last minute or 2, sometimes 3 at the most, for bonus features. You can head on to the end of the episode and check out more, or better yet, just stick around and watch the whole episode. But I will try not to go into too much detail here and bore you, but I like the names and I like the origins. So Aqua Celestia Forte is Latin, and aqua, of course, is water. Forte comes from fortis, and it means strong. So here they're using in their Forte series, so it'd be Forte or Forte. It would be referring to the EDP versions, right? So Forte from this house refers to Eau de Parfum version. And it's my understanding, at least for this fragrance, that it's pretty much the same notes, it's just stronger. You guys can help me there, because I don't know if that holds for all of the Forte releases, but I think that's what I've been told for this one. So again, when it says forte, that means it's an EDP or eau de parfum, as you can see here. So make sure when you're reading the reviews, make sure that you are not reading Aqua Celestia, because Aqua Celestia is the original. It's an EDT, eau de toilette, and the Aqua Celestia Forte, this one is an EDP or eau de parfum. All right, so aqua is water. Forte is, of course, strong, coming from fortis. And then we say Celestia, but it would actually be Celestia. So here's how this works, right? So the little nitpicky element of here, and I will make sure I promptly boo myself. Celestia in Latin comes from caelum. And why that's relevant is it should be celestis or celestis, as we would say. So actually it should be aqua celestis or aqua celestis, if you want to pronounce it that way, forte. So there's a slight error in the Latin element. So I'm going to boo myself there, because I am going to consider that in my final rating system, and I'm probably the only person on the planet who would do so. All right, so let's dive in on the notes. With regard to the notes, you're going to have, well, many, but 5 stand out for me. Lime, mint, lily of the valley, jasmine, and they list musk. I would have said white musk, but it's listed as musk. And so the first thing that really jumps out to me is this is a mojito-based fragrance. So, or a lime Perrier, if you do not drink adult beverages. So this is a lime Perrier / mojito-based fragrance, in my estimation. It has a very mojito mixed with kind of luxurious soap element. So it is crisp, it is citrus, it is fresh, it is ultra clean, and it smells like a fizzy lime-based drink, like a Perrier, mineral water, or a mojito. So if you like that, then you will love this fragrance. The second type of person that's going to like this is any person who's just looking for a fantastic smelling fragrance for the summer, for the hotter temperatures. You will also love this fragrance. You know, I don't usually say blind buy friendly or not blind buy friendly, simply because really no fragrance is, right? We should always try to sample fragrances before we buy them if we can. So that said, if you are not intrigued or don't want to smell like a mojito or a lime Perrier, then you just will not like this fragrance. I mean, flat out. So when I give it a rating in terms of versatility, I see it as you could wear it any time, anywhere, any place, but let me start off by saying this is a 2018 green floral. So again, if you are looking for ultra masculine, if you're looking for a rugged scent, or if you're looking for a gourmand, for example, this is probably not going to be up your alley. It's not going to be a good fit for you. If you are, again, looking for the mojito, the lime Perrier, or just a fantastic smelling fragrance that works well in the heat, then this will be something that you should absolutely consider. So with that out of the way, let's move on to projection, longevity, and sillage. And the news just keeps on getting better because, I read a couple people said that they have problems with longevity and projection. I'm really hoping that they are referring to the EDT. In fact, there was an article on Fragrantica that just came out 2 days ago. I will put it in the description box. And he is talking about the Forte series, and he says specifically this one does not do well in terms of longevity and projection. I did not get that at all. I absolutely did not. I got 10 plus when it comes to longevity, and projection was definitely within an arm's length for the bulk of that time. On one day in particular, I wore it. I went inside, I went outside. I walked around outdoors. Later on, went to a pizza / badminton get together. It's a pretty it's a pretty exciting life, let me tell you. And so at the get-together, they were playing badminton. I played badminton, came home, and I could easily smell this thing well after 10 hours of being at the office, walking around, playing outside. That is incredible. And when you want to talk about a citrus-based freshie, usually they don't do too well, do they? And when you want to consider in a hot climate that indoors, air conditioning, outdoors, moving around, and still did fantastic, well, I tip my cap to them because I was highly impressed. Sillage is another one you will absolutely get. You will leave a scent trail, and coming in and out of rooms, you will absolutely get noticed. You will get compliments with this fragrance, no doubt. So I have to tell you, when it comes to longevity and projection, I have nothing but good news, and I was a little bit surprised, actually, that others said to the contrary. Another thing that's different from a lot of commenters and reviewers for me is the gender. This is marketed as unisex. It is for men and women. And many people have said, well, many guys have said it was quote unquote too feminine for them, and they moved on from it, traded it, whatever. Or at least people said that it was unisex but leaning feminine. And I actually feel on my skin that I actually feel like it leaned even slightly masculine. Definitely unisex, but I almost feel like it leaned a little bit masculine on my skin. Here's what I think. I think when people hear Lily of the Valley, they think women's perfume. That's what I think. Lily of the Valley is a wonderful note. It does great on my skin. And I just, when you say mojito, when you say lime Perrier, when you say crisp, when you say ultra clean, there's nothing really, right, that gives that away in terms of gender. It just sounds like, wow, I would love to smell like that, man or woman. So when it comes to gender, I want you to know that a lot of reviewers and people commenting are saying more feminine. I just don't agree. For me, it does phenomenal, and I would absolutely love to have this fragrance for the summer. It is phenomenal. I guess if you wanted me to say, I'd probably say what, in terms of buying and basing it off of other commenters and reviewers, I'd say probably about 55. Let's just say 60-40, 60% women wearing this and 40% men. But count me in as one of the 40% because it is fantastic. So that's and then age. Age is another one, just like BR 540. I mean, I could say 20 and up. It's just any age. It really is. This is a fantastic smelling fragrance. It is. So it will just, I tell you what, since it's a mojito based and we're making reference to an adult beverage, why don't we say 21 and up? How's that? Just for you. 21 and up. And if you promise that it's lime Perrier, I'd even go younger. How's that? Okay, so in terms of versatility, I really think it comes down to more of the season. To me, this is a summer based fragrance that you could wear in other seasons, but it does outstanding in the heat. So I'm going to say, for me personally, I associate this as a summer fragrance. Obviously, because it smells like a mojito, it could be spring, fall, winter, no problem. But I mean, in terms of when you say a citrus freshie, and you're going to associate, hot climates and the summertime, right? Let's be honest. So I personally think it's more about the spring and the summer and the hot climates, as opposed to the event, because this will rock any event. You want office, you want formal wear night, you want a romantic night out, weekend getaway, you name it. This is an outstanding fragrance that smells ultra clean. As I said earlier, it will just simply come down to whether or not you're looking for that type of, green floral. Okay, so next on the list is I want to make reference to where this stands in the mojito-based community. How's that? And no, when it comes to the citrus freshies, I have reviewed two other ones that are kind of similar. I mean, they're not clones or copies of this by any stretch of the imagination, but they're similar. One was White Musk Sport by The Body Shop, which is right there. And if you are strapped for cash, and if you're looking for a fantastic freshy. White Musk Sport is by the Body Shop is an amazing fragrance. I really appreciated that one. I got it. A friend of mine just gave it to me. He didn't like it. It wasn't his thing. I loved that fragrance, and I would definitely get another bottle of it. So that is White Musk Sport. Check out that review. And if you wanted a great freshie that is cheap, a freshie cheapie. How's that? I'm coming up with new terms here. If you want a freshie cheapie citrusy, all right, then check out that one, White Musk Sport. The other one though is that reminds me of this kind of mojito vibe is Armani Code Sport Athlete. So be careful there because it's not Armani Code Sport. It's Armani Code Sport Athlete. Which was, if I'm not mistaken, to commemorate the 2012 Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. It has been discontinued. So it's very, very expensive on eBay. And I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit reticent to purchase things on eBay when it comes to fragrances. It was the second review I've ever done. So if you'd like to see what a newbie reviewer looks like. In fact, maybe don't go check that one out. That was one of my first ones that I ever did, and I was quite wet behind the ears. But you know what? I absolutely love doing that review. Loved that fragrance, and I was sad to see it go. So that one is definitely a mojito-based fragrance. And this is, I'm happy to report, for those of us who have been looking for something similar to Armani Code Sport Athlete, this one for me absolutely fits the bill, and I almost kind of see it as White Musk Sport meets Armani Code Sport Athlete, because it's the mojito based, but then like the White Musk ultra clean element to it, and I love the combination. I love those two fragrances. Absolutely adore this one. All right, so let's get to the rating then. This must be, of course, a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 sprays here at That Cologne Guy. I have to do this. And here's what I did. You know, last week I gave 5 out of 5 for BR 540. And one of the things I mentioned was I don't like that this house has the same bottle design, just different color for all their fragrances. But then I got to thinking, that's actually kind of unfair, isn't it? Because I gave Amouage Jubilation 25 6 out of 5, the coveted VIP That Cologne Guy, in high demand from all the houses. All right, maybe not, but you get my point. I give a 6 out of 5 for really, really fantastic ones. But guess what? Jubilation 25 is from Amouage, and they have the same bottle design, just different colors, don't they? It's the same design for every single one. So that's kind of not really fair. Here's why I'm going to keep it at 5. 2 reasons. Number one is, I didn't notice this last week, their bottles come in 70 milliliter size. What is up with that? Okay, it kind of reminds me of some of you might remember from the I guess it will be what, 80s and 90s. There was a cable channel called TBS, and then they had a sister channel, TNT. And the TBS shows would always have like odd times, so they would always start at like 5:35 or like 6:05. And they did that because studies show you would remember if it was an odd time. So I'm assuming that this house is trying this kind of hipster-esque element to this by making 70 milliliter bottles. So I actually looked it up. 70 milliliters is 2.36 fluid ounces, folks. I mean, that's odd. I've seen 50. I understand that. I've seen 100 milliliter. Absolutely understand that one. I even understand 75. 70? That's kind of weird. So if you want to order a 2.36 ounce bottle, you can certainly do that from this house. That's kind of quirky. It's kind of hipster. It's not really working for me. That's a little odd. The second thing would be, as I said earlier, this is like Jubilation 25 is just a fragrance I can't imagine someone not liking. This one, though, is different for me because I absolutely could see how somebody would not like this because they just don't like green florals. So beyond that, though, I really can't come up with anything else. This is as close to perfect as you can get. I mean, it's 5 out of 5 sprays. It smells fantastic. Ultra clean. It's ultra clean meets mojito. The longevity and projection are off the charts. As I said earlier, I'm not really sure what the complaint is about because this actually is the best performer for a citrus-based freshie that I have ever had. So that's quite a statement I'm making. And if you guys have any problems, if you want to say anything about the longevity or projection about this fragrance, please let us know, because I was certainly surprised by that. There you have it, folks. Aqua Celestia Forte, 5 out of 5. This house is highly, highly impressed. I can't wait till next week, actually, as the fun continues with MFK. So I'm going to go 1 on each wrist, 1 on each side of the neck, and how about 1 on the back of the neck? You know, last time I went on the chest, but that's because I had Celtic jersey. I'll go back of the neck this time, just to vary it up a little bit. All right, here we go. 5 out of 5. Aqua Celestia Forte. Boom. 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 And I have a little bit left. Here's what I'm going to do. In case they're watching, and in case they're watching and they get rid of the quirky 70 ml bottle of this and move on to something much more standard, I will even throw in a 6th out of 5, and I'll give it to you, just because I love you. There you have it, folks. Aqua Celestia Forte. What a blast. And yes, pun intended. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I really appreciate you guys always checking out all of my episodes. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. So as I said earlier, Aqua Celestia Forte is Latin. So aqua, you know, is water. And forte comes from fortis, meaning strong, and that's how they mark their EDPs. So the element in question here is the word Celestia, pronounced here. In English, usually we say Celestia, but it is Celestia. So Celestia is a word it's an adjective that comes from caelum. Caelum means sky or heaven in Latin. So this is the adjectival form of caelum, and it is celestis. So what's interesting about that is, if you look at the different forms, what are called declensions, you will see that this adjective actually should be celestis with aqua when it's paired with aqua. So Aqua Celestis Forte should be the name. Unfortunately, it doesn't really have a good ring to it. I'm assuming that's why they put Celestia. But I wanted to bring that forward because I did slightly consider that when I gave this a 5 out of 5 and didn't bump it up to 6. So in fact, maybe what I should say is that 6th one I threw to you guys, I should say if they change the Latin to Aqua Celestis Forte, then I would sign on and give it the coveted extra spray. If not, I think I might have to keep it there because Aqua Celestia or Aqua Celestia probably just sounds better. So the word Celestia does exist, but it is the accusative form plural that goes with aqua. So aqua would be, if it were plural, it would be aquas celestia, and that would only work if you were talking about the nominative, the accusative plurals. So accusative refers to the direct object. So if you said something like, I bought heavenly waters, right? I bought heavenly waters, then that would be in the direct object spot, so the accusative, and waters, of course, would be plural. That would be aqua celestia. And that would be the only way you could get that form. Otherwise, if you're just saying like heavenly water and leaving it just like that, like it's the subject, like heavenly water is a great fragrance, then you would unfortunately say aqua celestis. And so it would not be celestia. And they're going to have to change that, I think. But as I said earlier, I think that it just sounds better to say aqua celestia. All right, folks, there you have it. Probably more Latin than you've ever wanted to know in your life. But, you know, I just find these things interesting. I know a lot of people perhaps don't, so that's why I put it as a bonus feature. I hope you're doing well. Have a great week. Take care.